Hey guys, so tonight I decided to go ahead and do kind of what I did for my last video, which was like my high-end luxury favorites, like 15 top products from my 15 top brands. I'm kind of doing the same thing tonight. I have around 15 brands, but instead of limiting myself to one thing, we have like a top 3 from each brand because there was just a lot of really good stuff, and I realized I haven't been doing many drugstore videos, and I just wanted to let y'all know some of my favorite drugstore items. So yeah, that is what we are going to get into tonight. It feels really weird to make a video and not say something, but it also feels like I'm not someone that should say anything, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna say. But with everything going on, I think, you know, I'm gonna just say this one thing and then I'm gonna not, because I'm not the person to speak about it. But I saw someone on Facebook post, "I'm sick of seeing Black Lives Matter. All lives matter." Yeah, they do. But right now, white girls aren't getting pulled over and dying. I mean, so no, Black Lives Matter. Like, that is what matters right now. That is what you need to be fighting for right now, speaking up for right now. And if you don't, I'm not going to say you're part of the problem, but you're not part of the solution. So I know that just being me, I don't feel like race has never been a thing to me. I've dated white guys, black guys, Hispanic guys. Like, I've dated all different ethnicities. It was never a thing in my house. It was never, my next door neighbors were black. Like, we spoke to them and we communicated with them just like we would anyone else. And I just don't get where all of the hate comes from a skin color that doesn't mean anything. It literally just, it doesn't mean anything. So I don't get that. And I think whatever we can do to raise more awareness and to realize that, like, white privilege is 100% a thing. And I've learned that in the past couple of years because I never really thought that it was before. I just thought, yeah, I'm white, so what? But I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have someone look at me differently because I'm black. I don't know what it's like to have someone just dislike me because I'm black. Like, that blows my mind, and I will never be able to understand that. So I don't know what I'm even trying to say here. I just kind of wanted to address it, I guess, because not saying anything about it and filming a video just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm going to try to put that out of my mind for a little bit and show y'all some of my favorite drugstore stuff. Alright, so the first brand I want to talk about is Essence, and I have 3 top products for Essence. My number 1 is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. This is such a good under eye setting powder. This one actually reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and not for your whole face, but just the way that your under eyes will look once you use it, if you know what I mean. Like, the formula isn't the same, it's not that good, but it really is great for setting your under eyes, and like, that's what I have on right now. I love this, and I would be totally like happy using this all the time. And then the second thing I have here is the Essence Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil. This thing is so itty bitty tiny. The tip on it is just itty bitty bitty, and I think it's like $3. It's really good. It's very pigmented, so you do need to just use like a very light hand with it, but it's so tiny and it can really draw like good little brow hairs, and I love this. And then for the third thing, I just want to say all of the Lash Princess mascaras. I love the green one, the orange, the purple, and I'm pretty sure there's a blue. I could be thinking about the collab mascaras, but I know every color that I've used of this is amazing, and it's literally $2.99. So I want to say all of these products are $2.99. So literally not even $10 worth of stuff right here, and all of these I've been so impressed with. Then the next brand I wanted to talk about was Burt's Bees, and I only have 1 product from them. I honestly haven't tried much makeup from Burt's Bees. I've tried all of their lip stuff, and that's all great, but I've tried a skin tint and an eyeshadow, and I wasn't a huge fan of either one of them, but the blushes are beautiful. This is in the color Toasted Cinnamon, and Kathleen Lights has raved about this. Rach Loves Life has raved about it. Just, it's such a good color, and it works on a lot of different skin tones too. And then this one is the color Shy Pink, and it's just very, like, it's the perfect blush to just warm up your face a tiny bit, and this is what I have on right now. So the formula is great. It reminds me a little bit of the Milk Cosmetics blushes, which I really enjoy, so I love these. And for the next brand, I'm going to do Wet n Wild, and y'all know Wet n Wild's highlighters are amazing. So this one is in the shade Blossom Glow, and it's just a really pretty kind of champagne-y, leaning a little bit rosy highlight. It leaves a beautiful, beautiful, just kind of glow, and it's definitely, like, you can build this up and blind people. So for like the $3.99 that this is, such a good deal. But the one thing that I don't hear people talking about much is this Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana powder. It's a bronzer, but obviously it's not a bronzer. It is such a good under eye setting powder. This one right here reminds me of the Laura Mercier that I just talked about yesterday, but this has that little bit of tint to it that I wish the Laura Mercier had. This has a tiny, tiny bit of shimmer, just enough to really make your under eyes look nice and, like, just not dry. So good. And if you can find this at Ulta, they'll do, like, you know, buy one, get one 50% off. And I got this for like $2. So this will last me basically forever. And it's so good and soft and just like silky to touch. Just feels really, really good. Next up, we have L'Oreal, and the two products I have from L'Oreal are the Infallible 24 Wear Foundation, which I have worn a few times on this channel and I love. The second is the new Bambi Eye Mascara. I love this. I have the Essence Lash Princess on with this built on top, and I don't know if you can really see my lashes right now. I'm kind of farther back than I usually am, but this combo is so good, and I really love it. Like, it looks just as good as when I layer two really high-end mascaras on. So I think mascara is definitely one of the things that you can go drugstore for. Like, sometimes powders, sometimes eyeshadows, stuff like that. Like, you really want to get like a good quality product. Not even, because some drugstore is just really good quality now. So anyways, I think these mascaras are amazing, and the same with this foundation. It wears so good. It really does last forever. Haven't worn it for the full 24 hours, but I have worn it for like 16, and I mean, my face didn't look amazing, but I definitely could have like powdered and saved the whole situation. So this is such a good drugstore foundation. Next, I'm going to talk about NYX, and the two things from NYX are both kind of eye related. The first one is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. Really good. This is a really good shade for me. And this little wand, it's not super duper tiny, but it grabs your like brow hairs so well, and it really does like make them stick. So this kind of reminds me of like the Gimme Brow, but with a little more stick to it. And then the next thing is the NYX eyeshadow base in the shade Skintone. I'm not sure how many people will actually be able to use this. I think, like, you know, fair to medium. I don't know if this would work for deep skin tones. I really wish they would come out with one more shade of this, because they only have like a white and then this one. But really good. It reminds me a lot of the MAC Paint Pot, and it has the same, not like dry consistency, but it's not like a wet base, which I really like. I feel like every other drugstore eye base I've ever tried has just been very like concealery. I know it's not a word, but it's felt like concealer. It's been kind of wet, and I don't love that. So this I really, really like, and I think it's a great dupe for the MAC Paint Pot. Next here we have Milani, and I have three things from Milani. The first is the Conceal and Perfect Concealer. I think this is such a Shape Tape dupe, and I feel like I haven't really heard anybody say that. Maybe I just haven't been watching the right videos, but this has such good coverage, and it really like does not crease at all. And I have very, very creasy under eyes, so I have this on right now, and there's no creasing under my eyes. It still blows my mind. I use this all the time. It's so good. And then the next two things from Milani are both bronzers. The first one is the Silky Matte in 02 Sunkissed, and the next one is the Baked Bronzer in 05 Soleil. I really like to layer both of these. This Silky Matte bronzer is a matte formula, and it's a little bit cooler toned, but this baked bronzer is much, much warmer. So you only need a tiny, tiny bit of this baked bronzer, but layering these up is just gorgeous. And these two combined, the look reminds me a little bit of the Tom Ford 01 Gold Dust. So for a drugstore bronzer, this combo is amazing. And while I am talking about bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. I'm sure no one knows what I'm going to say, but I have like 5 Physicians Formula butter bronzers around my house, but the butter bronzer. This is just the bronzer palette, and it has light bronzer, sunset bronzer, and endless bronzer in it. I used this one today. I used just the original butter bronzer almost every time I'm doing like a full face of drugstore makeup, because when I'm doing my makeup, like not filming it, I either pull from like my desk where I have all of my high-end stuff, or I pull from like my closet area that has all of my drugstore stuff. So I'm kind of just like mixing and matching. But if I'm ever trying to do like a full face of something, if I'm not using the Milani, I'm using this one. So I'd say 50-50, so I guess I'm not always using this one, but it's very good. And until I found those 2 Milani bronzers, this was my favorite. So both really nice. These have just a tiny bit of sheen to them, so if you're looking to just get one bronzer, I would go with this one. If you don't mind getting 2 to layer up, I would go with these 2. Now for e.l.f. I also have 2 things. The first one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I think this is amazing and it works great. This is another concealer that really doesn't crease on me, which is very, very strange. So to be honest, like these 2 concealers right here are 2 of my top like non-creasing concealers. This one reminds me a lot of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. It's a little more hydrating, but the coverage and the way that it like sits on your face is very similar. So I love this so much. And then the second thing from e.l.f. is going to be these bite-size eyeshadow palettes. These are so much fun to play with, so inexpensive, $2.99. You get 4 shades, and every little palette is a little look. Like you have 2 mattes, 2 shimmers in here. It just works out so well. And this one you have the one like blue shimmer and then those 3 mattes, so you can do a gorgeous halo eye. I did that with this one day and I loved the way that it came out. And I'm really not a big fan of blue eyeshadow, so that said a lot about this, and that's what really got me into using these a lot more. So I honestly, like if you come across these, I would grab one. The formula is great. Like it's insane how good it is to not even be $1 a shadow. And blendable, just like stupid inexpensive for being so good. So for Maybelline, I also have 2 different items with a few different shades. The first one is the Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This one does crease on me a tiny bit if I don't set it quick enough, but if I have my powder like ready to go, I set it as soon as I blend it out. This looks so pretty and natural. Like it's just the best natural finish. So it's not super high coverage. I like to wear this when I'm not doing like a full face of makeup, but I just kind of don't want to look scary. So this is kind of like a Kosas concealer, but I honestly like this one a lot better than the Kosas. So that's just me, but this I've used since I was like 14 or 15, maybe 16, at least 10 years, and I don't think I have been without it since I started using it, which says a lot because I don't know if there's actually any other makeup product that I have like loved like this. So I definitely need to use this more. I got it out just to start using more, and y'all will be seeing this quite a bit in upcoming videos. Then the second thing from Maybelline are these Superstay ink crayons. I made a whole video about these because I thought I was like the shit and found this whole new world in the drugstore. But these are the Bite lip crayons. I swear they are straight up dupes. They come with the sharpener on the other side. They come in beautiful colors. This is a gorgeous like kind of corally red, so pretty for summer. I've worn this a lot already, and I have a Bite ink stain that I talked about yesterday, I think, or in my last video, and it's very similar to this color. So I love all of these. I've used them time and time again. I will keep using them time and time again, and when I run out, I will buy more. They're so good, and I'm definitely going to, unless Bite comes out with like some insane color that I just need, I will be sticking to these. So next, I just have one thing from Honest Beauty. You already know what it is, the cream blush. This got me started on my cream product journey. So Tati talked about this in basically every single video in 2019, and I had to get it. I got 3 shades of it. This right here is a total dupe for the Fenty Petal Poppin' shade. It's basically the exact same thing. Not even gonna lie, this is Peony Pink in the Honest Cream Blush. It's just a beautiful creamy formula. It's just pigmented enough that it really gives you a nice color payoff, but it's not too much, and it melts right into your skin. So good. And another brand that I just have one thing for is Winky Looks. This is their whipped cream primer. And if you look in it, it's like a moussey kind of texture, and it was like up to the top. So I've used quite a bit of this. I used this today, and I don't think you can really tell on camera, but it looks like I don't have pores. So this is I feel like this entire video should have just been like a dupes video, because every time I'm like really talking about something, I'm like, oh, this is just like this. Oh, this is just like this. So when I come out with that dupes video that I've been talking about for way too long, some of these are definitely going to be in it. So I'm sorry if I'm going to be repetitive, but this is a lot like the Tarte Porn Primeless Porn something or another. Tati loves that one as well. This is so good. So it's also kind of moisturizing, which feels really strange since it's that kind of like pore filling texture, but it feels so good when you're putting it on. And the next brand, we have 2 different products from Jaclyn Beauty. I had not heard about this brand until maybe just like a few months ago, but everything I've tried has been bomb. Super inexpensive. This is my top pick. This is the Aqua Surance Powder Foundation dupe for MAC Studio Fix setting powder. Yeah, I really should have just made this a dupes video, huh? Damn it. Okay, anyway, it sets your face down, just like the Studio Fix. Comes in a decent shade range for like a powder foundation kind of deal. It's not just like 5 or 6 shades. I think there was like 14 or 16, and I don't know, it really sets any makeup in. And if you have any kind of cream product on underneath, you can still see it through this, which is very nice. But there's also enough coverage that it makes sense to be a powder foundation, if that makes sense. Okay, the other thing from Jaclyn Beauty is the Vanity Goddess. Oh, this is so tiny. I think it's the duochromatic something or another pigment. I have 2 shades in this. One is kind of a coppery, and one is like a white with kind of a reflecty color. I used both of these in videos already. I would say I would link them, but I don't think I've linked a video in like a really long time, so I'm not going to say it, but if I happen to, it'll be up there. They're stunning. This white reflecty shade is the closest thing I've ever seen to a Pat McGrath dupe. Okay. Literally next week when I put up a freaking dupe video, just don't hate. So this, you can't see it very well because I don't have anything else on my skin, but the reflect is gorgeous, and when you have another shade underneath, it just like sets that shade on fire. So good. Next, we have Revolution, and we're getting down to the last few products, I promise. This one has been really long. So from Revolution, my favorite thing is the Sofx Revolution highlighter palette. This is one of the first like highlighter palettes I think I really got into. Before that, I just had like a couple Becca highlighters, and I just used those. Like I didn't really mess around with it. I didn't shop around. I didn't care to. I didn't care about figuring out different formulas. I didn't care. Then I kept hearing everyone on YouTube talk about this. I got this and I was like, damn, like, oh, this is what highlighters can be. Because there are 2 different formulas in here. One is just like a pressed powder, one is more of a baked, and both of the formulas are just different. They give you a different feel, a different vibe. Both are stunning. I can use basically every color but this one in here. If I have a self-tanner on, these 2 work out okay. If not, I basically just like stick to this row and hit this in my inner corner a lot. But this is a stunning eyeshadow. I've just like kind of topped different looks with this before, and like it's so reflective and gorgeous. So I still get plenty of use out of every shade in this palette, which is very, very, like, not normal for me. Then I also had to add in my favorite from Pixie. This is the Rach Loves Layering Highlighting Palette, the Layers Highlighting Palette Glow On. I don't even feel like I should call this like drugstore because it was what, like 20 whatever dollars. Like, this was fairly expensive, but it is stunning. I love this palette. I used this over any high-end highlighter for months. Like, I was just obsessed. I threw the purple on my inner corner and mixed together either this one or this one, or this one and this one, or this one and this one, or all three, or whatever. And I had no desire to use anything else. So this bronzy color here is also a really gorgeous topper. This one's not quite as opaque, but it has that really good shine to it. Like, it's just a different kind of topper, which is neat because you don't want every formula you get to be the same. And then this purple shade here is so much fun to play around with. It's like hard to really... I know you've probably already gotten this and played with this before, but it's so much fun and I love it. Alright, we have 2 more brands and then we're done because this is getting so long. Next brand is ColourPop, and I honestly just kind of wanted to hit on their single shadows because I know everyone loves their 9pan palettes. I love them as well, but I love their single shadows as well. And this is just one of their like Z palettes that I threw together, and that's what I have on my eyes today. It's so pigmented and gorgeous and just pretty, and the formula blended out great. I mean, like, I don't know, when I'm using inexpensive / drugstore stuff, I don't want to feel like I'm losing out. Like, I want to feel like, damn, this feels just like whatever formula, but for a quarter of the price, you know? I don't want to feel like, well, all right, I mean, I can make this work since it's a quarter of the price. Like, that's not my deal. So their shadows are just amazing, and I wanted to throw that out there. Next from ColourPop, I have this Roy G. Biv Super Shock shadow, and I've used this a lot on my channel. This one is just like the eye topper. It is this gorgeous pinky gold, it's right there. Like, it's so pretty. I love this, and it reminds me a lot of a Marc Jacob topper that I have. So I just think the Super Shock shadows, the formula itself is amazing, and there are quite a few of these that I would definitely recommend. Last but not least, we have Morphine. And for Morphine, I chose 2 different things. This might be controversial, but this is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. And I love this palette. I know some people are saying, or they have said that, you know, they can't blend it and it's not, you know, it just hasn't worked out for them. But I've really enjoyed every look that I've made using this palette, and I don't know, like, everything is blended out really well for me. I love that you can do such a neutral eye, you can do a pink eye, you can do a purple eye, you can do a burgundy eye, you can change it up, throw some gold, yellow, sunset, orange, you know, like, you can just do countless things with this palette. So it's one of my favorites from Morphe, honestly. And the last favorite is the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. This is dual-ended. It has a spoolie on one side and the pencil on the other. It's just a really good itty-bitty tiny pencil again. I also really love the shade that it comes in, and you're not really going to be able to tell because you know how brow pencils are on your hand, but it's just a good, like, cool toned blonde, cool toned brown taupey situation, and it just works really good. The spoolie is also really good to, like, work all the product through your brow, and yeah, it's a great brow pencil. So anyways, I think that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it, and if you really enjoyed it, subscribe and watch out for my next video. So I hope you're having a good one. I hope this was able to take your mind off of things, and I know I at least forgot about it for a few minutes. So I hope you're having a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.